So good morning. It's the day after the storm and I'm out and about, as you can kind of see, enjoying my beautiful walk in the sunshine. I've been called to going back into nature and I love this. You know, sometimes it's just about appreciating just sometimes the simplest of things. And whilst this might be just a little thing, a bit of a walk in nature, it can have the most powerful of effects. So I wanted to share that because today it was all about communication coming through, and I had a very funny situation this morning with a close friend of mine. And we'd been talking via WhatsApp and having our conversation, and then I went away and came back to ask her something else, and suddenly it was like I wasn't even talking to her. It was like a bit weird, and she was answering me with things like I'm thinking, well, she knows I know that. And then I asked her something, she went, no, I don't know about that. And I was like, well, yes, I'm sure I've told you about that. It was really weird. Eventually, we got to the bottom of it after much hysteria and laughter, to the fact that she had been talking to another friend of hers beginning with D, and on her, you know, when she clicked on it, she'd obviously clicked my name beginning with D, and she thought it was another friend of hers beginning with D, and so she was having this conversation with the wrong person. But what it made me realize was the importance of communication, and how things that aren't communicated correctly can be misunderstood. How things that are communicated to the wrong person can be misunderstood. There's someone coming with the dog now, so I'll have to stop for a minute. Communication is key, really. Now, remember, we communicate in various different ways as human beings. So we communicate through, obviously, words that are spoken. And we listen to those words. And sometimes, if we're not listening, the message is lost. The story becomes a different story. Things get translated into our brain and into our understanding in a very different way. And then we communicate through written communication. And we read other people's words. And depending, I guess, on how we're feeling at the time, when we read them initially, we might only pick out certain words or sentences of the communication that we resonate with or pick up on, and we form a story again in our own minds. So it's always quite important, I guess, to really read those words over and over a few times. I have had situations where I've read words and I have taken it in a way that probably wasn't meant. And because we communicate in this day and age so much through text, often those texts and tones of those texts can be misunderstood. So words are valuable for us as communication, and sometimes people are putting out communication and words of love when really we want to see the action towards that. We want to see, you know, you say one thing but you do another kind of feel. And again, that is our way of communication, isn't it? With body language, with action, supporting what we are saying, so that we as the receiver feel that confirmation of what we're taking to understand. from the communication side of things. So that was my take on this morning's fun and laughter, because when we are at a distance from somebody that we love, and we hear from them, often, that communication can be a little bit watered down. Sometimes it can be a little bit misunderstood. And I think it's important for us to remember that if you don't understand something, instead of reacting, try to respond so that you can make sure you understand what it is that is trying to be said to you and conveyed to you. Now, action speak louder than words, and we all know that. And obviously sometimes, if action fails in our communication, the words don't mean as much as they probably should from the person who's giving you those words. And that can be quite annoying. It can be quite sad. And it also means that, again, the receiver hasn't said, you know what, I love your words, but I need your action. And so don't be afraid to ask for more, to ask for what it is that you need as the receiver. Don't be afraid to just accept that the giver of those words is doing their best, because sometimes they could do with you saying you haven't done your best, you need to do more. And that helps them. And it helps growth between people. It helps change. It helps love. And so I just wanted to share that because it is part of my transformation on my journey of understanding that being able to say, hang on a minute, I do need more, and knowing that I'm worth the more, knowing that I deserve more. So communicate that by your return words, by your return action, and that way there'll be growth for you and growth for the person that is delivering that communication to you. It may not be immediate. It may not be straight in the next time frame that you would like it to be. But at some point, if it was meant to be the communication you needed to receive in order for your growth or learning or change in your path or whatever it might be, if that is the case, then it'll happen when it's meant to happen. So enjoy your bright blue skies and sunshine wherever you may be in the world. We're very blessed to have the sun out today. The sun returns every morning to us, and we can pick ourselves up and feel good once again. Sometimes the storm is just needed to pass us by for a clear out. And yesterday, spending that very alone time in the house and all of that, it really made me think about all of the things that I'm grateful for. So this morning I am very grateful for my wonderful life and my opportunity to walk in these beautiful woods and the nature after a storm, and know that my communication to you this morning hopefully can help and resonate. So hear the words and understand them and take them for what they are meant to be, because they are words of love from me to you.